So, there's a lot of people who are telling me there's no difference between solo queue and friends without comms. And because I'm playing without comms pretty often, I think I can show you the huge difference between people who are able to unhook you before second stage and people who are dropping the pallets like they can grow back. So where can we see a significant difference? How about doing gens? You know, you are getting chased and you're thinking like, oh, okay, that's pretty decent chase, but no gens popping, that's weird. Well, when you are playing with your friends, from my own experience, they usually doing gens. And, surprise, surprise, even if you are not on comms, they are still able to do it. As you can see, I was being chased and this chase took 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's not the best, but still, my friends were able to do 3 gens, and that's pretty impressive, right? Do you think that you get the same experience when you are playing in solo queue? Let's see. This chase took the same amount of time as the previous one, but the results are not the same. With solo queue teammates, after the same amount of time, they were able to do only 1 gen. For solo queue, it's still very impressive, but you can tell there is some difference. In my opinion, the main problem here is the MMR. The ranking system wasn't perfect, but you still didn't play every single game with people hiding behind the Z-wall for no reason. So of course, gens in solo queue usually take more time to do. You know, Blendy has something to do in the corner of the map, usually with the self-care. But as long as devs take the view that survive means skills, there's not much we can do. But enough about survivors being allergic to gens. I'm often asked how I can handle difficult situations with my friends without comms. Usually I have a simple answer to that. We just die because comms is everything, of course. But seriously, I have 8,000 hours, and since I spent an unhealthy amount of time playing Dead by Daylight, I have been in so many situations by now that I just know what to do. And my friends usually do too, because they do not have a life like I do. Well, we have an example of situation that probably requires comms with other players. But I just saved my friend! That must be a miracle, right? So as you can see, with a couple of friends, we can play a little more relaxed because I know I can count on them. And since there is a time difference between us and my brain is not braining anymore, I usually need someone to take care of me at this time. As what Weskers say, poor performance indeed. I hope you are ready for another miracle, because my friend saved me, and again, without comms. It's almost like we know what to do. It's impressive, right? Here I know my friend has deliverance, but not knowing where the rest of the group is, I ran to Nick with a plan to heal ourselves. But Mr. Killer has to come explain that he basically disagrees with our plan. So what are we going to do? We don't have comms after all. And just like that, another miracle. Unbelievable. Just another escape. We were lucky. Here we have a little bit nostalgia. Do you remember the days when locker safes were a thing? And can you imagine that we were playing like that without comms? Oh my god. It's almost like we become familiar with our gameplay because we were playing together every day. I love the combination of ADHD and insomnia, by the way. It's helping me a lot in this case. Another example of how we are able to get back in the saddle. And we can take risks because we trust each other. What about the locker, CJ? Do you think it's something we can usually find in Salt Q? The fact that at least two of us have Unbreakable is another reason why we can take a risk. We are prepared for this situation because it is a normal part of our gameplay, especially when it comes to someone as handsome as Baba. Look at him, he is perfect, tall, handsome, cute. I love this guy. Oh yeah, you just witnessed an invisible dead heart and 120 ping. This is in response for those who informed me that the ping is irrelevant for dead heart. But back to the point, we definitely can't play without comms, as you can see. I don't see any difference between people being able to function in situations like this and people who even can't function in a pretty common situation as chase, gens, slugging or camping. And again, another miracle, because without comms this should be impossible. So do you think a similar situation will end the same way in Salcu? Let's see again. As you can see, we have a slugging and camping situation. And Huntress thinks,
I have slug and hook, why would I leave?
so since I don't know what Kate is doing, I decided to trade with Fang so she wouldn't go to the second stage. But what do you think will happen in solo queue after that mistake, especially when Kate is part of our team? If you guessed that everyone will die on Huntress with 100 hours, you were right. So, can you see the difference? Let's watch another situation where you're probably not going to experience with your friends. I have a couple of them. As you can see, Dwight is in the chase, Fang is on the hook, and I'm doing Gen. Nia is bravely doing nothing. As the only full health survivor, she is the one who should go for unhook in this situation, and I'm pretty sure she will, right? Wrong! After I've been chased, Nia decided that this is the perfect time to do another gen. What do you believe Nia will do now? Will she be an effective teammate? This is my personal favorite, Petty Survivor. Of course, being injured means I cannot do anything. So, if my teammates refuse to heal me after I'm injured in first 15 seconds of the match, I need to do something, of course. So, as the solution to the problem of not getting what I wanted, I dropped the pallet and let the killer know we're here. It's an important part of solution here. And disconnect was my solution to the problem. Here is another example. Why would I do gen in front of me when I can simply just watch my teammates to do it? I'm injured. I cannot do anything. It's simply just painful to watch. And what if one survivor decides to play hide and seek all the match? Side note, but this survivor knows how to avoid a crowd after being too long on the same spot. Can you tell me how this is fun for you? Just do something! Oh yeah, sweet justice. These are another examples of the big differences between playing with friends and with the solo queue players. These players are usually pretty new in game and you can expect everything. They can kill you in so many different ways. It's hard to find people with common sense in solo queue. Just watch this situation. For example, how many brain cells do you need to have to know that with base kit borrow time you can take a hit? Damn! What did the pallet do to you? Oh, I'm so happy you are here. So the quick recap. The difference between your friends without comms and solo queue players is primarily that you are not playing with a player who is useless to you and your team. Well, at least in my case. Being the only one on gens or facing the petty survivors who is working with a killer just because I refuse to heal them immediately is my solo queue experience, and I definitely prefer to play with my friends even if comms are not used. Some people find comms annoying. They don't feel comfortable talking in front of strangers and so on. And because we are decent people, we respect that. But playing without comms is not for everybody. You need people with the ability to use the brain and people with basic game knowledge. So of course, if you are new in game, you probably need comms and it's completely fine. But stop telling me that everybody needs comms and there is no difference between my friends and solo queue players, because that's offensive. Just look at it. Why are you here? What are you doing? My hope is that we have resolved the significant difference between my friends and solo queue players. I hope you enjoyed my suffer and I hope I never play solo queue again. Thank you for watching and see you in another painful video. Bye!